Why does moving away upgrade or tend to turn one's life all the way around? It seems to have a very simple answer to the question. Like, if you actually think about it, and a lot of people mention the crabs in a bucket type of mentality when it comes to being in your hometown, growing up with people you're familiar with, things of that sort. So that's step one. Like, the familiarity of where you've been your whole life is gonna hold you back. It's gonna hold you back to an extent. Can people become successful and take off in their hometown? Sure. I mean, I believe it's happened occasion on occasion over. But ideally, when you're around friends, people, family, certain establishments that you frequent, it's just everything's so accessible. Everything is comfortable. You fall into a routine. Now, I've always been one to try to change things up, switch things up, do different things. I've always been one to try to at least not get too comfortable, because it don't end up well. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you're a person who's got a lot of aspirations. If you're just cool with like just how things are, that's great. That's great. And I think that's what makes up the melting pot of life, because we got people who desire and chase different things. Not everybody can be a boss or an entrepreneur. Some people are workers. Not everybody can be the principal of the school. Some people are teachers. You know what I'm saying? So it varies. But ideally, when you get away from familiarity, you're forced to come into one's own. I've made several videos about this in the past, about like separating yourself, going into isolation, not being around the things that are comfortable, spending time with usual friends who don't have same aspirations as you. These things are gonna have you subsiding. You'll start backtracking, because you can't have familiar conversations with people who don't have goals like you, people who don't aspire towards what you aspire towards. So then, like, and this is from firsthand experience, it ends up just being small talk with these people, to where the only thing that's on my mind is leveling up. But then I was watching a video from a gentleman the other day. Man, I wish I would know his name to give him the credit. But he talked about, like, once you're in that mindset of accomplishing things or doing things that, you know, really stir you or get you excited, that you're passionate about, and you speak about these things to other people who aren't on the same wavelength, they see that as bragging, that you're bragging to them, which is the audacity, right? Somebody sees me just speaking to things that I care about and passionate about. They can't relate, so they see that as a negative thing, in terms of, man, he's always talking about himself. He's always talking about X, Y, and Z. They see it as bragging, and then it could develop into hate, right? To where you're talking about things that you aspire towards, but they haven't occurred. Maybe you're a work in progress, right? And people will talk down, man, you talk about this, you haven't done this, man, you haven't even done that yet, man, where's this at? Well, clock's ticking, you haven't accomplished anything yet. So that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, it's just misconstrued, because we're operating on different wavelengths, frequencies. A lot of people don't even like when you use that terminology. Oh, frequency, what is that? That's that new age thinking. Man, shut up. It's ideal in terms of you're not moving according to the same dreams, aspiration, wants, and needs as I am. That's a frequency. We're not on the same type of wavelength or level. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's just it. That is what it is in black and white. People tend to gravitate towards people who have common interests to themselves. So phrase it however way you want. The point is still the point, you know? So it's an interesting thing to really think about, but it's something you have to be aware about if you want to be successful. If you're just here thinking that you can just surround yourself with certain people and walk within certain circles, and it's willy-nilly, that's not the reality. Truth be told, yes, it gets done. There's people, like I said prior, that are able to be successful in their hometown, do things, and that's just the nature of the beast for them. But I would say 9 times out of 10, a lot of people moved away. A lot of people got away. A lot of people focused on themselves, or went to places to where they could capitalize off of their passions. People go to Hollywood to pursue entertainment. People go to Atlanta to pursue music. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people go to Nashville to pursue music. Like, they align themselves closely with what they care about, or would probably, chop a few steps or cut a few steps to get them closer to the goal. So think about these things, the crab in the bucket mentality. Think about people doubting you or criticizing your dream because they're stuck in your hometown. Think about like the conversations you have. They're not in depth, they're very surface level. Think about how you start spending your time. Your friends or this friend group wants to be at the bar every weekend, turn up, go to the strip club and chase women. And you got to prioritize when you know that you're destined for something else. So I've always been one to move away. It's always done good for me, but then I find myself going back. And the dude I was alluding to earlier spoke to, don't go back to previous towns, relationships, jobs. Don't backpedal, don't circle back. And it's a tough thing, but on the other side of that, not turning back is like a substantial amount of growth, in my opinion. Development, understanding. And that's ties into a video I made a few weeks ago, like what happens when you cut everyone off. So these topics simultaneously walk hand in hand. People cut people off in their hometown, but some people just move away. You know what I mean? And they don't associate, they don't allow those people or those individuals to have any access to them. They're off the grid. And then it's like you're in that hibernation phase. You go into a cocoon and you come out a butterfly. You come out just like more beautiful than ever. So think about these things, man. Think about these things. Quit running in the same circles. Quit being on the hamster wheel. Quit thinking that you can change somebody's ideology. Like, it comes to a point to where you're in certain situations and you're like, man, we've talked about these same things. Like, there's nothing new happening here. This is all they care about. That's not me. Now, does it diminish my love for them? Ideally, it shouldn't. If there's people who have been there for you, rock with you, just because they have different beliefs and passions, and you have to chase what's on your plate currently, doesn't mean that you just have to completely dissolve the relationship. Because there's people who've been in your corner, right? But they may not be able to relate to your drive and your focus and your entrepreneurial mind or your artistic mind. But they'll still always be there. You know what I mean? You just can't be running. You can't be running with that pack every day. So food for thought, word for thought. I think that every time I've moved away, I've become a different person. Not to say I've changed, but I've grown. It's not in a negative light to where, you changed on us. You're not the same anymore, bro. It's like, bro, he doing what he need to be doing. He leveling up. He's working. And how can I be mad at the next man for working or chasing what they care about? So, yeah, I just recently made a move. I think I talk about it a lot on my live streams. I recently made a move. I'm in California now. And that's cool for me. Like, it just puts me in this isolation and separation to where I can focus. And a lot of people talk about reinvent yourself, become the new you. And, new environments, naturally, you're exposed to new things and you tend to soak those things up. So naturally, you'll change and you'll acclimate to the new environment. But yeah, man, a lot of my old passions are resurfacing. I'm able to focus on new things that I believe the Lord has, brought into this new season of life. Let go of a lot of the old things. You got to leave things in the past. It's like being reborn again. So they always say different time zone, new mind zone. So it's like I've been thinking differently. New ideas have been generating, and I'm being introduced to new people. So it's not easy. It's not easy because on top of just like being around people who aren't beneficial to your growth or advancement, it's like you have to leave people you love and care about. Your family, your friends. So maybe it's relationships with a significant other or job opportunities. So that's the tough part, because you've been stuck in this hamster wheel. But on top of that, it's not even just leaving. The tough part is being in a new environment and not knowing nobody. Yeah, I've done this several times. It's funny because everybody's like, bro, do you know anybody over there? I'm like, nah, I don't. But that doesn't scare me, like, because I've been in different countries not knowing anybody. I've been in new states not knowing anybody. It's just life. You're going to know people. You're going to adapt. You're going to adjust. You'll find the certain circles. And God brings people into your life that are meant to be there if you trust him to do it. If you out here willy-nilly just hanging out with anybody, then who knows who you're inviting into your circle or into, your energy. So I've met good people already. And it's just second nature to me. Oh my, you don't know anybody? how could you move to a place and you don't know anybody? Oh my God, bruh. You're walking, talking every single day, going through your routines, and everybody you see on the street, in traffic, you don't know. We live in an existence to where we don't know people. We're surrounded by people, and they're all strangers. So it's up to you whether you see a girl you like, you want to talk to her, get to know her. It's up to you whether you see somebody, some friends or a group of people playing basketball, shooting hoops, I don't know, and you want to join them. Who knows what it could be? But that's how relationships even come to fruition. So comment down below, let me know y'all's thoughts on this, man. When you typically remove yourself and relocate, you tend to have extreme growth. It's like, in my opinion, because you're literally on an island. You're literally separated from everyone. And your brain starts ticking and thinking. And I would say it thinks more creatively, more innovatively. And like I said prior, people say they reinvent themselves. They become a new person. Not to say that we've changed, but when you're in your hometown and everybody, oh, that's little Jimmy from down the street. Everybody already think they know you. They think they know what you're capable of. They know your limitations, and people already gonna put you in a box, and that energy surrounds you. Oh, it's little Jimmy from down the street. He can't become anything. He's only been delivering our mail for the past 5 years. Nothing will happen to this kid. Of course, I'm just playing around in terms of, using a hypothetical, but, oh, that's little Sally. She's just gonna be here her whole life. She's never gonna leave her parents' house. We know her. She's coming over for dinner next Sunday. You know what I'm saying? It's just like they already try to make you out to be somebody that, and deep down, you could be like, nah, I'm gonna leave this town behind me. I'm getting on the next thing smoking. I'm getting out of here. So it's a multitude of factors that tie into this. But comment down below, let me know y'all's thoughts. Peace, love, prosperity. God bless, man. I hope that y'all stay encouraged. I hope y'all stay motivated. And the goodness, grace, and mercy of Jesus Christ and his love cover every single one of y'all. We'll see y'all next time, man. We out.